I mean, most of you have probably heard of it, the story of the two wolves, which is a Native American legend. And so here, if you haven't heard it, here it is.
An old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life. "A fight is going on inside me," he said to the boy. "It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." He continued, "The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you, and inside every other person, too." The grandson thought about it for a minute, and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed."
So, how do we feed the right wolf? And this is not just something this show is pointing out, or even that legend. This comes from all over the place. We've pulled a couple quotes again from major religious traditions. Zoroastrianism, yes, there are two fundamental spirits. In thought and in word, in action there are two, the good and the bad. And this is this duality that's recognized in all kinds of traditions. Christianity, the spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. Hinduism, the mind is said to be twofold, the pure and also the impure. Judaism, man's evil inclination gathers strength against him daily and seeks to slay him. And were not the Holy One, blessed be he, to help him, he could not prevail against it. And then from Buddhism, beware, your clinging to ego is greater than yourself. Pay heed, your emotions are stronger than yourself. Your vicious will is far wickeder than yourself. So it's vigilance. It's that it's not just like, it's going to happen. This is you're feeding one of the two wolves, no matter what. So the more, and it doesn't, as we were saying before, without the reflection, you don't know which one you're feeding, and without the reflection, you don't see that feeding the negative wolf is actually causing problems in your life. It can see, because as we were seeing with some of the guests that we had, the evil side tries to say, "Hey man, you're glad I'm here. I'm giving you happiness. I'm giving you freedom. You want me around," when really it's the opposite. It's like a company that's creating scarcity, or it's like an advertisement that says, "Hey, you should look like this. Now we'll give you a product that makes you look like this." You would be better off if they never showed up in the first place, right? So it's the same way with this stuff in the mind. So you got to want it, is what we're talking about here. And what is it? Here's the goal as described by Swedenborg. We're looking for heaven. When hell is gone, heaven is there. And that's everything we want: peace, happiness, everything like that. And Swedenborg says heaven is union with the Lord. But what does that mean? He goes into a little farther here. The Lord's union with us and our mutual union with the Lord are accomplished through our loving our neighbor as ourselves and loving the Lord above all. And to complicate it further, Swedenborg talks about how those are actually relatively technical terms. That loving the Lord sounds like it's just loving God, but really it's loving the human race, because God wants to benefit the human race, and so if we really love someone, we want to do what they want. So it's really loving God is loving everyone. So that's the goal. And then Swedenborg goes farther into it here. Divine Providence, 333. Oh, and this is about how we've got to make the effort to turn that direction, or else all the divine power in the world can't do it for us. Divine providence is constantly at work for our salvation, but it cannot save more of us than want to be saved. We want to be saved if we believe in God and are led by Him. We do not want to be saved if we do not believe in God and we lead ourselves. And I want to get, we could get into it a lot more about what does it really mean to believe in God or not believe in God. What if you are a good person but you don't acknowledge a deity? We could get into that more. Basically, the more you love what's good, the closer you are to loving God. The more you love what's evil, the closer you are to not. So, but for another time. Anyway, the second quote, True Christianity 150, the Lord is carrying out all these processes in all of us, meaning that He is trying to have these effects on us. We're jumping in, He's saying all the effects of regeneration, of peace, happiness, finding the heaven mindset. And when we adapt and modify ourselves to receive good qualities, He actually carries them out in us. Even the acts of adapting and modifying ourselves are actually from the Lord. If we do not accept the Lord's processes with a willing spirit, he cannot carry them out in us, but his desire to do so remains constant. So God is trying to reform, and by reform, there's a tendency historically in religions, we're so evil, God is, no, but it's heal. It's heal to sickness in us of different kinds. Some, as we were saying in the beginning, some is the negative tendencies we have in doing things. Others is just the things we're under attack by. But we've got to want that. We've got to turn that way in order for the divine to be able to work in us.